thing I learned about a positive attitude is I learned from my dog. Wag more, bark less. How many of you have traveled by first class? Why not? Most of us don't want to travel first class because of the money. You don't want to pay extra. What if I told you that with a positive attitude, you can travel first class? It's a currency of exchange that can get you more than a first class ticket. A few years ago, I was traveling on standby. The company that I worked with was owned by Air Canada, so we did not get first priority for standby tickets. What I mean by standby is you get to travel free or at a discount, but only if there are seats available on the flight. So typically you want to find out ahead of time, are there enough seats available that are going empty? If there are, then you stand a good chance of getting on the flight. So I checked ahead of time. I was in England at the time. I checked ahead of time and I found that they had like about 70 or 60 or 70 seats and very few people on standby. So the chances looked very good that I would make it on the flight. But when I got to Heathrow, I found out that there had been a lot of other flights that had been cancelled, and there were many paying passengers who would now use up those flights. And of the people that were on standby, we were about 35 of us. And there are 4 different categories of priority within the standby. So people who work directly for Air Canada are in the A category, and those who work in companies that belong to Air Canada, like me, were in the D category. So did not look too good. Did not look like I would stand a very good chance of making that flight. However, they told us to wait because there are lots of people who are no-shows and they don't come, and there are cancellations, and that there might be seats. So we waited, and they called a number of people one by one as seats became available. And of course, my name was not being called at all. So I was really one of 3 or 4 people towards the end, and we thought, oh, we're not going to make it, are we? It looks really bad. And then they kept coming back. The stewardess or one of those traffic control people came back and called out another name. And then there were 3 of us. So by that time I said, well, things can't get any worse than this. If you're going to be stuck, I may as well have fun. So when the person came back next and called out one of the other people's names, when we were 3 of us, I said, oh, she's second runner-up. And when the next person got called, I said, she's first runner-up and I'm Miss Universe. And everyone burst out laughing, because and they did say that was the last seat when the second runner-up made it for the seat. And so as they were going back, and as I started picking my bags, the lady said, just stay there for a minute, don't leave just yet. And she goes away, and like I said, well, I've got nothing to lose. I had to just catch the tube and go back to wherever I had to go. And I just waited, and 5 minutes later, the pilot, the co-pilot, and a couple of the stewardesses come out, and they say, we had a little discussion, and because you have such a great attitude, we decided you're going to travel first class, because we had room. So with a positive attitude, you can travel first class without paying a dime.